Hello everyone, this is Tina from Tina's Workshop, and my lighting's not the best. Oh, I should not have just looked at that light. I tried to pick the best spot in this room. We are in Buckeye, Arizona tonight. We are headed home. We should hopefully be home maybe tomorrow night. If not, we'll be home the next day for sure. I think we're about, what did I say, 13 hours I think from home. So we would be a little bit closer, but I decided that we needed to take a detour today, and we went to Tombstone, Arizona, and I'm a little bit dirty and dusty, but it was fun. We got there later on, so you know, we only got to see a few things. We went through the OK Corral, but we were there after they were doing the show and all that, so but it was still cool. We went to Boot Hill and all that. I was there probably about 35 years ago. My husband hadn't been there before, and there was very little I actually remembered, but I remembered I liked it. So since it wasn't too far off the road, we took a detour, but of course it still ate up a few hours. But you know, you gotta live, right? So, but doing all this driving, of course, gives me lots of time to knit, and I had things separated, and they were separated and somehow they ended up unseparated. So I know I showed you, I think I showed you these two last week and two of these, and I had one I was finishing. So I now have all three of these ones done. Oh, this is my Wonderland Yarns year subscription that I did this last year that I'm trying to finish up so I can get the two blankets made, because I did their knit and crochet. And I have a playlist that's all of them, so if you're interested in that, and they are doing a new one this year. But anyway, so I think I had finished these, and I was finishing the last one of these. So those ones are done. So that was all the pinks. And then I've got these three squares done, and have these three squares done, and I almost have these three squares done. So if you see, you can see that little string. I actually kind of cheated on this one. I knew I was running out and decided to skip one row so that I could complete it, because when I block my squares, I hardly block them. I'm just straightening them out. I don't have to stretch them at all. So I was like, okay, one row short, I'd be okay. But I still ran out right at the end. So I am holding these so that I can finish binding those ones off when I get home. But for all intents and matters, those three are done. And then there's these ones. So there's two here. And then I kind of did the same thing, but a lot sooner. So I've got still, I think, about 5 more rounds, and I ran out. So I did the same thing, and I did each side and held them separately, and then I took a picture of it with the pattern and wrote what row I was on, so that way I can get those ones, that one done too. So that one, I mean, it's almost done. It'll only take me maybe 20 minutes or something, and I'll finish that one. And I just started today on my favorite color month, and this one happened to have been April too, so it was my birth month. It was kind of cool. That one came out in April, but it's the green one. I like the green one. And this one has a leaf motif on it. So I am on row 16 of 30. So I'm halfway through this square, and then 2 more of these, and then I have 1 more month that I have 3 squares to do. And then I'll have all the squares done and I can get this blanket put together. So we'll see how far I get. I think I'm gonna try maybe to work on this a little bit, but it is 9:30. We just got in our room and it's 9:30. So we'll see how much, if anything, I get done on this one tonight, but then I got all day to work tomorrow, so I should at least get through the green ones before I get home. If I'm lucky, I'll get to start on the next set, but we'll see. So that's where I am on Wonderland Yarns. And oh, by the way, I think I said I was Tina from Tina's Workshop, but you can find me on all the usual social media places, and there's links to everything down below, including email and snail mail. And I may not have links to all the things that I'm talking about, because I am on the road and I'm doing this on my phone being on the road. My son has been helping me and editing some things on the computer after I upload stuff, but so anyway, there we go. My other work in progress has been my mindless project, because for the most part I'm just working on these squares while I've been gone, because I need to get them done, because I need to finish the blankets and actually send them to Wonderland Yarn so they can do a whole photo shoot and stuff. So I need to get them done. But I have a muscle burrow hat I've been working on, so that when it's dark and stuff like that, I have something I can work. But I dropped a stitch tonight, like this far down. I noticed it. I was like, oh man, but it fixed easily enough. So there we go. So last time it was right there, and I've gotten that much more done, and I love this one. So the yarn I'm using is Madelinetosh, and it is City by the Bay, which is for San Francisco, and it has nods to the Golden Gate Bridge and the Bay Bridge, but for me it's the Golden Gate Bridge and the foggy skies, because we get the blue skies or the foggy skies, and I go over the Golden Gate much more. Super soft yarn. I think it's the merino nylon, fingering weight, and I'm doing it on size 3 chow goos. My cute little sloths. They're so cute, but I really like this one. This one I'm doing for myself. It's really nice and squishy. I accidentally did it 4 stitches bigger, which I'm really glad, because I don't like tight hats. So anyway, that's where I've gotten on that one. Oop, got caught on it. So we will move that marker up. There. So, and then I only have one other thing to show you guys. This is a really short one. When I leave home, I don't know, it's super short, which my husband can't take his lathe with him, so I don't have any of his woodworking to show you, and I've been just working on that, and a lot of times I have a couple different things I'm doing. I need to get my video for this coming week done. I haven't done that yet, but I have been putting it off a little bit because I've been trying to get the squares done, and I think I'm actually going to be home in time that I should be able to film it at home, which will be really good. But I found something, so I have only one acquisition, just one. Been really good. I haven't been trying to target every single yarn store I can find. Need to be better at that. I have fun checking out the yarn stores, but I always have to buy something. Anyway, my husband and I went to the Dollar Tree the other day, and we were going through all the little hair clips and stuff, and they had the itty bitty little tiny rubber bands, you know, so when you do like little braids or something like that and you put them in, and they had this cutter, and it says elastic and rubber band cutter, easily cuts to prevent breakage and damage. And so what it's for is to, when you're trying to get those little tiny rubber bands out, and you hook this into it and you cut it, and then, you know, you get those rubber bands out easier. But of course I had to look at it a different way. This is what it is, and I'll open it. I looked at it as a yarn cutter, of course. There's 2 of them in here for $1.25. And it has right up in here, there's a little blade. Let's see. You see that? And I thought, oh, that would be perfect. Let's see. That you could take that if you had, especially if you were traveling or something, but you could just, awkward when you're trying to show a camera. You could just cut your yarn with it. It's a great little yarn cutter. So I was like, okay, for $1.25 and I get 2 of them. So I thought that was pretty cool. So if you have a Dollar Tree near you and you happen to have these in your store, it's the first time I've seen them in a store. I found it in Louisiana. It was in the store in Louisiana. But anyway, pretty nifty. Makes a great yarn cutter, I think. So that's my only acquisition, you guys. I've been good. I have lots of finished squares. And my little works in progress, and I'm cruising along in the car, cruising along with my projects. I'm getting there, I'm working on it. I'm feeling good about it, but I will be glad to be done with these squares. And the last square I have to do is the only square of the year that had cabling in it. So it's probably one of the harder squares, just in the sense that you have to keep doing the cables, so it's going to take more time, but we'll see. I think I'm getting a little faster at it though, and let me tell you, when it comes to doing the Musselburgh hats after doing all these squares, this cast on right here is so easy for me. I actually really like how that looks. A lot of people always complain about their cast on their Musselburgh hats, and I think mine looks pretty darn good, and I owe it all to all these squares, because every single one of them is started with that same type of cast on, that little pinhole cast on, and I've gotten to where I can just go right through it. So yeah, practice, 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 and it does really make things easier. So there you go. I hope you guys all have a great weekend and a great next week, and we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.